Hi.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Tom Stewart here, and I'm with a plethora of people, all Foundations alumni. This is the Foundations Alumni St. Patrick's Day celebration, reunion. Woohoo!
Yay.
So,
Hey.
so
I'm so excited.
It's working. I can see it.
yeah, got Laura Smith here, Joe Walsh, Trisha. Is that Derek behind the mask there?
Yeah, I'm at an airport, so it's My Hero Academia. It's anime.
Yeah, and we've got a whole bunch of people that's supposed to be here over the next hour, and we're just going to be sharing stories from Foundations over the years past. Got Katie, Trish, Matt's with us, and you guys know Laura.
Hey, Heather.
Heather? Yeah, Heather. Liz is here all the time.
I feel
like a Brady bunch right now.
I know, it does feel like that, right?
So Liz, explain. Liz, what are we going to be doing today?
All right, so we have a few things that we're going to do. So first, I just want to say thanks to everybody that's coming. And there is going to be a contest. Stay around to the end. And whoever is the most blinged up and gets, or best blinged up and gets the most votes is going to win. Everybody look at Tom. He really wants to win.
I only have a green hat, so I think I lose. You guys all look better than me.
It doesn't even look green. It looks about as green as Derek's shirt does that he was trying to pawn off as.
It's old, but it's green.
Yeah.
I think Tom wins.
We have a prize for whoever gets voted on. So how you will vote on who you want to win. The prize is you'll go to chat and you will just type in Bling and whoever you want to win. So you might type Bling Tom, Bling Heather. Don't do Tom, he can't win. I can't win either. So Bling Heather, Bling Laura, whatever. And that's how we're going to count up the votes. Hey, Amy, turn on your microphone. Are you doing dishes?
Oh, whoops. Nope, corned beef and cabbage.
Yeah.
Whoa, that makes good sense. That's reminding me of Tom and his green beer over there.
Joe, I would have thought you would have had your whole attire going on here, or you?
I wasn't ready for today. It snuck up on me. The St. Patrick's Day snuck up on me.
Don't you have some genetic obligation to do this, don't you?
Well, technically, my genes are not very Irish.
Oh, okay.
I just spent a year and a half living there, and my last name is Irish. But
Wow.
Okay.
Don't you have to wear, what's the deal? If you're Irish, aren't you supposed to wear orange? Isn't that like a thing?
oh, really? I don't know.
I think it's green. That's pretty judgmental of you, Liz.
No, I think you're supposed to wear orange if you're actually Irish.
I will
The reason why you wear green is to keep from getting pinched if you're
I
not.
will be drinking Guinness and having corned beef dinner tonight.
Okay.
All right, there's a celebration going on right there. All right, and then additionally, what we want to do today is, hey Derek, hey Sarah, y'all turn on your little pictures. We would just like to hear about what people have been doing since Foundations. I have a few different questions that I'd like to hear how everybody's doing.
Hey, Liz, before we get too deep into this, Matt has another commitment, but he was going to drop in right at the beginning.
Yeah.
And we have a piece of exciting news we want to share. I don't know, ever since COVID started, about once a month, Matt would call me up with some entrepreneurial idea. You know, it was like to start a paint company. He wanted to buy a restaurant. There's a list of things. And
I almost did buy a restaurant. I had an offer on one, so it could have been, my life could have been very drastically different.
And I had to walk him off the edge on each one of those. And we started talking a couple weeks ago about how May Central's got to the point where I really need somebody that knows what they're doing from a marketing and sales standpoint. And Matt's joining our team as the chief marketing officer for Made Central. So he's going to be basically taking over that side and freeing up resources for us to provide more support and build more cool tools and just make it a better platform.
Yeah, I see the, beyond the marketing and just the sales at first is helping the users be successful. So people that are on board, I mean, I wasn't the first, but I was the first to commit. I got other people actually started before me, but I was the first to commit to come on to Made Central. And so I feel like I have a lot of institutional knowledge. I know where a lot of the software, there's pieces that people aren't using that are good, that we can improve upon. And but I really am excited about getting more people on board to increase the awareness of the software. And I feel like we're at a tipping point where we've got to grow. We've got to get more people on so the software can keep getting better and better. So I know a lot of you on the call are on the software. And just the more you use it, the deeper you use each feature. I feel like that's part of implementation, but it's part of marketing and sales too, of just getting people to really use the software to their fullest ability. So I'm excited. I think it's going to be a really great year, and we're all going to benefit from more power users coming on, more smart people in the community. I feel like that's the biggest advantage of Made Central is just the network that we have with one another. I mean, me and Joe talk all the time off channel. Me and Tom talk all the time off channel. And you build your network of people. And how do you do this? How do you do this? And I want to build that community. That's my biggest piece that excites me. So
we just wanted to take this opportunity and let Matt share that before he had to go do other things.
Yeah, I got a couple more minutes, but if you guys have any quick questions, I can take those. But otherwise, I'm going to bounce in about 2 or 3 minutes. I've got another call.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on your new adventure, Matt.
Yeah, super exciting. I'm excited for everybody because I know how much you contribute to Made Central, and having this new role, I can only imagine what you're going to be doing. I'm so excited.
Yeah, Tom formalizes my work, that I'm doing behind the scenes anyway. So it's a little bit of a formalization of something, and he gets a few extra hours out of me. So it's a win-win for all of us. So I appreciate everyone that's on the software now. If you're not on it yet, it's maybe not related to you yet, but I think you all will be on it the next year if you're not. So
For sure.
New people coming on every day. I know we talk about that almost every day. We're talking about something about Made Central, the MMA groups. I mean, I can't even remember a day that we didn't bring up something, right? Don't you think, Heather?
So
it's like every day. Yeah.
So what's our format going to be today, Liz? You've got some questions for us.
I have some questions for everybody, and then after that, we'll have a Q&A period. So if anybody has any questions that they want to talk about or any problems, I saw that Sarah did post an issue that she would love. Oh, hey, Sherry, that she would love to see us chat about. So, and then we will do our contest, and that'll be it. So let's see, it's a little bit after 2. And for right now, I just have a couple of questions. My first question, I'd love to hear from everybody. Let me pull up my question. Because it's a little bit difficult because this new window takes up all of the screen, and I'm not used to working with it. I'll see.
Just think how easy it would be if you had 2 monitors.
Or 3.
Tom.
Just think how easy it would be if you were dressed like a green Care Bear.
Hey now.
There you go.
Thank you, Heather. Thank you.
Hey, where are we sharing it right now?
We are streaming on about 6 Facebook pages and a couple of YouTube channels.
Okay. So you'll have to let us know if there's comments that we don't see and stuff.
Yeah, because we don't see anything.
Yeah, let's see. We got Sam's here with us, watching us on Facebook. Denit's with us. Hey, Denit. Linda.
Can you drop the link somewhere so they could join us? Hey, y'all, if you go to someplace, maybe you could just drop it where you normally drop it, Tom, and they could join us here.
For the
Drop it like it's hot.
Yeah, I can do that.
That'd be great. Okay, you guys, you're getting invited to the live. So what I would like to start with is, and Matt, maybe you can start before you go, is which foundations did you go to? If you remember the number, like F11, F2, F4, and Matt's leaving. All right.
Well, no, I got 1 minute. So I think it was 2017. I was there with if anybody's here now. I mean, Derek was obviously there. Nina was there. I don't see Nina today.
I think that was 10, wasn't it? Or was that 9?
Yeah, it was definitely 17. Tom just supposed to pick today.
Yeah, 2017 with Warren and Regina DeCorte, Ben, and
Ryan.
And then the gentleman. Yeah, the gentleman that started or is working with they're kind of building their own franchise model. Can't remember his name.
Lidman, Brian.
Yeah, Lidman. Brian Wiegers. So it was a good group. So really enjoyable. But I do have to jump, guys. I've got another 4:15. I wish I could stay through this. See you guys.
Thanks.
Bye.
All right. So just curious what foundations class the rest of you were in, and also if you could tell us one takeaway, one of your better takeaways, or I don't want to say best because I know that's so difficult, but one of your better takeaways from that foundations class. So who wants to go? Anybody?
I'll start.
Go ahead.
I was in Foundation 6, I think. I don't remember I'm pretty sure I was in 6.
You were in a couple of them, Joe, because you taught at some too.
Yeah.
Maybe I was in 4 and then taught at 6 and 7. I can't remember.
Oh no.
I couldn't remember.
Just throw up hands.
I can think of a takeaway. I mean, there were many, but I think it was really getting a handle on the numbers of the business in terms of the performance indicators and how to measure success in this business. So that was pretty big for me.
Joe, I remember we had like a workshop afterwards in Dallas one year, and you were like we were all kind of working on stuff, but like you got into the numbers and you kind of just zoned out to like another world, and nobody could keep up with you. And you got a tremendous amount of work done in Dallas, kind of picking up on the work that we'd started earlier.
We did, yeah, I remember that. I remember sitting in a hotel conference room with you, Tom, for like a couple of hours and pouring over financials. And one of the big takeaways I got from Foundations was how important it was to control your cost of goods sold, which is basically your labor costs. And that was really huge. And that kind of changed how I looked at the business.
Cool. Thanks, Joe. Sarah, I think, did you say yes, Sarah?
Yes, to what?
That you wanted to say what class you were in and.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have bad lighting. I'm driving. I'm looking at the road, though. I was in 2018, and then I did the 2019 alumni. I think my biggest takeaway was I had been in business about 6-7 years before Foundations, and I didn't know what a KPI was. I never knew anything about that. So I actually cried when we were learning it because I was so overwhelmed. And I didn't know what everyone was talking about, and I couldn't believe I had been in business that long and I didn't know how to track my numbers or how to measure anything. So that was definitely a big moment for me, and it was really cool to get the spreadsheets where I can track things and see my future predictions and all of that.
You're not the only one crying. At least one more person on this call today was also crying. I won't call anybody out. There's at least 2 sitting there. Hands, right? Yeah. KPIs is traumatizing for a lot of people, but a lot of times people also are crying over relief, right? At the end, they're like, oh, I get it, finally. And it just feels so good that it's like, relief. So I do love that about the KPIs. Heather, I think you had your hand raised.
So I went to 9 and 10. I went to Foundations 9 and had no idea if anything of this caliber even existed in the industry. And then I went to 10 and I also did the alumni. So I was fortunate to stay with them for 2 whole weeks, which was insane. So many big things to take away. I can't even narrow it down to one, but I have to. I'm going to say the biggest takeaway was me. How I could control the narrative, how I took responsibility for everything that went right and for what went wrong. And that was a really hard one. It took a long time to really understand that, but I think that was probably my biggest one.
That was a good one. I remember my legs were sore from walking you up and down the beach about this whole thing. So that was good. That was big. That was a big takeaway though.
It's a big breakthrough.
Yeah, it really, really was. Yeah. I'm just gonna go down the line here. Hey, how about you, Trisha? I saw somebody else pop in here. Oh, hey,
Yes.
Chris.
Hey, Chris. So I was in, I hate, like people always say the years, and I'm like, how do you remember that? I don't remember years like that. But I was in 2018 and 2019 then, so 9 and 10, I believe that is. And I learned so much. Like when I had already hit the $1 million mark when I had went to Foundations the first time, and I thought I just kind of like knew everything. And then I went to Foundations, and I was like, I wasn't even at Foundations yet, just doing the pre-homework, and I was like, holy crap, I don't know anything. And that was the part that like I was kind of overwhelmed by that, but excited at the same time. And so then when I went into Foundations, like I was amazed at what I didn't know. You know, like I had created a successful company in my opinion, but the whole time I had created it, I was just winging it. I was, you know, like everything would just work out perfectly, you know, and profit and margins, everything else was fine. But ultimately, I didn't know why. I didn't know what I was doing right or what I was doing wrong with anything. And, you know, that's just not scalable when it comes, I wouldn't have been able to continue on, you know, and so just kind of seeing all the actual inner workings of a company really helped me to understand, okay, so like I luckily have been doing things really good. I didn't realize I was, but now I go down this route and so forth, and it pushed my company to be able to be even better. My other one is, I think there's so many of them, so many of them, but one that I can tell you like impacts me today is touring Tom's facility, because I was so amazed, not with the one location, but I was amazed that he was able to have like this this system and this call center type facility working at other, you know, his other locations. And I was like, I had never once thought of to do that. And you know, I thought about opening up more locations, but I didn't know how to. And so when I seen his, it really like clicked something in my head, you know. And so then the following year, you know, after I started really thinking about it, and I was like, I can totally open up a second location, like, and we just streamlined everything. And then now we have our third location, and it's all still ran out of one office in Fargo.
Nice.
Sweet.
Yeah. Tom, what do you call that? You talk about it a lot when people sort of luck their way into
Yeah.
it's perfect for today. But
You can be successful and have it be an accident, and that's awesome as long as it's working. But when market conditions change, things like you know, wages go up and demand shifts, and you know the legal landscape changes. If you don't understand why you're being successful, you won't be able to adapt to that. And plus, you won't see the opportunities to grow your business. The story that Trisha just shared, after understanding why she was having the success she was having, she understood how to leverage that and take it to another level.
Then I was able to drill down and hit those areas hard, knowing what I was doing right. And, you know, like we used to be teams of 3 as an example. And after Foundations, we started going to teams of 2, teams of 1, like everything just started making sense in my head, that how it worked together, you know, to where, we just winged stuff before and it just happened to work. But now once I started diving into those things, I started understanding things much differently.
You're making decisions with confidence rather than just doing it and keeping your fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Well, and I remember
Yeah.
you saying you didn't know anything you were especially good at after meeting with you one-on-one. I'm like, teach these people what you do with Facebook, because you just did it so naturally. You didn't know that was special.
Yeah.
She had a lot of stuff like that, actually. She had quite a few things like that. I'm sad that we had to miss Sherry. She had to run. Her biggest takeaway besides friendships, and I think everybody would probably agree that the friendships is a huge piece.
Absolutely.
The main KPIs to watch. That's huge for so many people. How about you, Laura? And you can't say that Derek was your biggest takeaway. He was the heavy.
He was joking to me in chat that I was his biggest takeaway. No, I think it was a couple of things. When I went to Foundations, I was already doing over $2 million. And I can't remember which one of you guys told me, but one of you guys told me that I filled out my like homework report more thoroughly than like almost anybody ever had. So I was feeling a little cocky when I got there, I guess. But two things that were really big for me. One was I had hit a point where I didn't really know where I was going or what I was going to do anymore. And Tom really took the time to walk me through the idea of buying my own building, which was huge for me. Having my own space not only is huge for my company, it's going to be huge for my retirement. It's a huge part of my plan that I honestly don't think I would have thought of if I had not gone there. But obviously the biggest piece for me is, as most people know, my daughter was diagnosed with cancer 16 months ago. And I had to basically quit. I called my general manager from the airport when I got the call. I was flying to Detroit. I just landed in Detroit, and I got a call that my daughter was in the airport being diagnosed with cancer. And I called my general manager and was like, I quit. See you in a couple years. Don't know what to tell you. And I feel like having gone Foundations a year and a half before that was huge in getting us to a place where I could just walk away like that. Because even though I was good at a lot of things and I had built a large company, Foundations is just so thorough. They go through every possible aspect of your business that it's just a really good way to start poking holes in where are your weak points. And I mean, I have to give my general manager, Aja, the majority of the credit for, getting us through the way she has. I think that the work we did post Foundations on poking at our weak spots, identifying what those were, trying to strengthen those, I think that made that possible. So I haven't been to work in 16 months now, and we're still doing just fine. And I think that Foundations was a big part of that. And then also I know that I think you're doing a MMA bonus for Foundations. Is this 11 or 12? Okay. So also that was another, I think that's an incredible bonus because after I had to step out completely, I needed support from my general manager. And so I actually put her in MMA, which is intended for owners, but I mean, it's been huge. It's been huge on her having a community to get answers from, a community of really smart people to get answers from, when she runs into things that she doesn't know what to do with, to just have that support. It's been priceless. So
we love having her too. Of course, we love having her.
Yeah, I think anybody at any size though can benefit from going through their business with a fine-tooth comb like you do at Foundations. Everybody's got stuff to work on.
Yeah, I totally agree. There's no company that doesn't have stuff. Amy, your situation is a little bit different. Tell us about what you're up to.
Well, like everybody else, I don't know if any of you guys are seeing your Facebook memories of all the ocean shots and everything, but I'm really loving those this week. But what Foundations showed me, and it was a great time, and I learned so much, and I was one of the criers. Oh my God. But what it showed me and my KPIs and my numbers was that my business was on life support and I had to pull plug. That's basically it. And it was hard, but it was a super huge relief to me because I was just miserable and I couldn't make it work no matter what I did. And I just didn't have any other funding thing to do with it. I just was like, nah. And then when COVID happened, we'd had a really hard winter, a lot of snow days. So we lost a lot of business with that. And then there was some stupid mistake on my PPP application and they declined it. And I was just like, oh, I give up. I'm done. And it was like the universe was going, okay, do you believe me now? You need to close. So,
I really love that though, Amy, because I don't think people really understand what we mean when we say that like the course is individualized for you. It's based on your company, your needs, your situation. It doesn't seem like that could really be the case. You got all these people in this one room.
Yeah, Foundations was the best money I ever spent, even though I closed, and maybe some people don't see it that way. But like Sarah was saying that she just winged it, and Trisha said she just winged it. And I winged it for 12 years, and all I was doing was throwing money into a bonfire, really, and I didn't have the know-how, and I didn't have the money to hire anybody to see me out of it. And of course, there's a bunch of other things that just contributed to all of that. But so I always thought that cleaning would be my, I don't know, lotto ticket. And while it isn't in running a company, and thank God I'm not, I can't tell you all how relieved I am to be out of it. I'm starting a cleaning course, some training stuff, so I'm trying to work on that. And I'm also blogging and writing. So if you guys need a blogger, I can write for you.
Yeah, we're going to talk about what the next steps are that everybody's doing too. So get some contact info for us, Amy.
All right.
Let's see, Derek, you're going to F11, right?
Whatever the one we're going to next year or the year after or some year, whenever. Sometime.
I'm going to the next one. It's October, Derek, so you know, October 3rd.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the post-COVID world, right?
You are registered to go, so put it on your calendar.
Yeah. I've been registered for like a year and a half.
I think you're one of the first people registered for F11.
Thanks for digging it in there.
Yeah.
Well, let's see.
I'm looking forward to it. I got to come down and see like a was it a 1-day thing we did in South Carolina 2 summers ago?
What was that, Tom? Was it? Do you remember?
Was it behind the scenes?
Something like that. It was like a 1-day crash thing that me and Diana came down for a weekend or something like that.
I remember exactly which table you guys were sitting at. I remember.
Yeah.
I think it might have been behind the scenes, Tom.
Yeah.
I was thinking somewhere 6-7.
Yeah. So that was my first, I think, I guess, vision for what I could see us growing into or getting access to people that have done amazing things in the industry. So I was like, I gotta learn more. I gotta get around these people. So I guess in the industry, I'm fairly young, still, even though I don't feel so young, but I've always valued getting around people that know more than I do and have accomplished more than I do. I've failed out of 3 colleges, and so traditional education is not really my strong suit, but I do like to follow successful patterns that people have done, and a lot of the details of running a business are not what my strong suit is. So I'm hoping to really learn a lot from it. I'm already a part of the MMA group, so I'm learning a lot from that, obviously, and hopefully it'll just add on to it when I actually go to the week-long event.
Yeah, I promise. I promise. Okay, let's see. We already talked to Joe. Linda, you're in the MMA group, but I don't think you are alumni, are you? No, but you're in the MMA group, have been for about a year now. Is that right?
September. I started last September.
Oh gosh, seems so much longer. Girl, I fought for you for all your growth. I'm so proud of you. Really, really, really great job. All right, so Chris, What class were you in, and what was big takeaways? Or little.
Man, I'm Patricia. I don't remember what year that was, but
I think you went to the last one, didn't you?
I think that was
No.
the year that you guys drank a lot, and that's why you don't remember. No,
It was
just-
9. It was 9.
no, I specifically remember you guys saying that we didn't drink very much.
Oh, really? Okay, that could be true.
No, we were the ones that ate all the junk food because the last people before us were the health nuts. Remember?
Don't-
We
There you
did,
go.
and we
Okay.
did drink a lot. and it
Don't
was
all the groups drink a lot and eat a lot of junk
I mean,
food?
I do.
And
I think I did maybe pass out on the couch next to John during class one day.
A little bit of drinking there.
Yeah, there's a few.
But there was a lot of productivity for the record.
Yeah, of course.
Oh man, I was so stressed. I was like, I think we lost my whole staff while I was out there.
Yeah, I remember that. And you were like sitting in the corner, like smiling. I'm like, why are you smiling still? You're like,
I don't know. I'm just, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, that was, what I really took away though is, meeting everybody. I mean, Laura, how many times did you let me come poke around your business? That was huge. And really planning is the one thing that I took away when we had to fill out a 1-year plan. I was like, you could plan for a year. I didn't even know that. Like a whole year out, you can go even further. Like, who does that?
Did you actually do it?
I'm at a quarter now, so we're a quarter out. And,
well,
But no, that's
I
not
mean,
true, Chris. So you are in the MMA group. You are setting at least your annual goals, and you started to think in terms like that, but you're breaking it down into quarters still.
I'm getting there, right? And it's going to be a process. And it took me a year to plan at all, right? I think like the whole year after, it took a long time to sink in. And that whole year after Foundations, I was still scattered and trying everything that I possibly could. And I think a year after we started planning at least a quarter, and you're right, we're at a year now and still improving it. So that was my huge thing.
Yeah, that's good. All right. Well, thanks you guys for sharing that. I was going to I have to keep switching over, and I keep switching to the wrong thing because I get interested in listening and then I forget to go do my job. Tom, sound familiar?
it's the monitor thing.
I know it is the monitor thing. I'm thinking that I really do.
do we have any comments or anything? Any questions?
Got one here. Pam says she loves hearing everyone's success stories and experiences.
It is fun to hear how other people are doing. And so, we really wanted to have a chance to talk to you guys because we don't get a chance to talk to you about how things have gone. And I'm glad other people are interested.
Yeah.
I know I love to listen to what other successful people are doing, what has worked, and how they're taking advantage of different things that they're doing. Another thing that I would love to have you guys talk about is how you are feeling about your 2021 prospects. What do you got planned for this year? Because there's different time now, right? Things are different. So I'm just curious what y'all have going on. Anybody want to share that?
I can start. So we're just excited to be hitting it hard. So COVID hurt us bad. Bad. Our sales dropped to I think 30 or 40% multiple months due to staffing issues. And so we now have a year to make up for it because if anybody knows me knows I'm very competitive with myself and anyone in 50,000-mile radius. And and so I'm competing against myself on where I should have been. So last year we should have hit over the $2 million mark, and we didn't. We actually dropped sales from the year before, which was like a heart crusher for me. And so now this year we're on point. We just talked to our senior management team this morning. Our goal is to be over the 2.5 is our goal this year. Yeah. So we opened up our third location this September we did, and that's going phenomenal. We have a really great group of staff up there, and we're growing really great. So yeah, we're excited this year.
Hey, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Laura, I saw you were ready to share what you got.
Yeah. I am so excited about 2021. I feel like 2020, it was hard for us. I mean, I think it was hard for everybody. I was really surprised how well we did through COVID though. We were completely shut down for about 5 or 6 weeks. When we very first opened back up, I think we only had about 65% of our clients come back initially. But we were able to kind of backfill with a lot of new people. It changed the conversation around cleaning. You know, some people were afraid to have people in their homes, whereas other people felt like cleaning was so much more important than they'd ever thought of it before. So we actually did pretty well through 2020, surprisingly, especially considering I wasn't there the entire time. We were down just a little bit from the previous year, but not by much. But we were still consistently, I mean, we had a lot of down months because we track, you know, month by month. We did have a lot of down months, but we used it as an opportunity to regroup. We switched from teams to solos, which has been much more profitable for us. We went through all of our clients, thanks to Made Central. We were able to go through all of our clients one by one and adjust prices, and we wouldn't take anybody back who was underpriced. So it was like kind of our year to fix everything. While things were a little different and slower and people were already used to the idea of massive change. And so now we're just feeling like we're going into this year so strong. We have been blowing up for the last 3 months. I think when I was there, the last time I went in the office, I think was like March 4th, and we were already plus 30 points for the month, for anybody who uses the point system. So, I mean, it's just been wild start to the year. And, you know, I think we're turning the corner with COVID. I think things are getting more normal by summer. And I'm really actually kind of thankful for 2020 and that we had the time to tear everything apart and put it back together like that. I'm super excited for this year. So.
Hey, make some big changes. Yeah, that is exciting. Who else wants to share what they're doing this year? Where are you going? What you got?
How about Heather? Heather's got a lot of fun stuff this year.
What do I got going on?
All your cool accounts you got.
Well, I will have to say that from Foundations was another big takeaway was my relationships. We had, I think, 20 people attend Foundations that first year. And I was able to bid a job. It was a very large job. And who do I call up to get some coaching from is Miss Trisha Lake over here. And she helped me secure that job. I think it was about $250,000. And then we landed another one. So now we're up to like $385,000 gigs per year. Off of that bid. So that was huge. And had I never gone to Foundations, I would never have known how to do it. And I think I won it because he was impressed with how I knew my numbers. Like I would ask him so many questions about his numbers, he didn't even know the answers. So knowing your numbers was huge, huge. What are we doing? I mean, same thing right on with what Laura said. You know, we got hit hard. Like I didn't know if we were gonna have an office. I knew we would still survive. How it would look. Did we have cars? Do we have to go solos? We had no idea. But we were able to do a lot of fast moving around money and securing things that we were able to just kind of power through it. When we saw a lot of our competition, they didn't survive. I don't know what we're doing. We're just growing like crazy down here. People just want to have their houses clean. And even though we're masked up, people are still going about and living their lives. And, you know, I'm going to ride this wave for as long as I can. My ops manager left us. We're doing about 1.5, I think, right now. And I'm doing it without an ops manager. So I'm really working in the trenches with my people. But hopefully it'll change soon. But, you know, it's all good. And I really can't complain that, you know, we're still in this pandemic and we're kicking ass and taking names.
Yeah.
Oh, look at who just joined. Cece. Cece's in the house.
The house mom.
Yeah, I don't think she can hear us. She would have at least smiled once.
Oops.
You can't. All right. How about Joe? What do you got going on? What are you working on right now?
Well, I can echo a lot of what others have said here. I mean, like Trisha, we were we were poised to hit. We would have hit like almost 2.5 million last year. If it weren't for COVID, we were right on track to do that. I'm confident we would have. So we took a big hit because of COVID. And really what it had to do with was staffing. We closed for 6 weeks, like a lot of other people, were closed. I think I was one of the first ones to close. Amy and I closed early, before others did, who closed. But, anyway, staffing has been a huge issue. I'm in a really competitive market staffing wise, and we really haven't been able to recover it. In fact, the Maids franchise in our market actually closed and went out of business because of staffing. They couldn't.
Wow.
So I'm actually happy that we're still here and we're starting to be able to recruit people again. And so what we're focusing on this year is just kind of trying to get us back to where we were at the end of 2019, which when you say it that way, it seems kind of like discouraging, but really we're doing great. And honestly, we changed a lot of things like a lot of other people. We went to all solos. We were teams before, teams of 2 and 3. We went to all solos, which is more profitable. And we've changed our scheduling protocol, which is like stabilized the business. And I'm looking forward to returning to focusing on some KPIs that I've been focusing on before the pandemic hit, which was to focus on employee turnover and unplanned absence rate and some safety KPIs, because the unplanned absence rate and the employee turnover were really where there was a lot of values that a lot more value we get out of the business if we got those metrics right. Mm-hmm. And so we're getting back to that and getting back to focusing on that. So actually this week, for the first time since the pandemic, our unplanned absence rate is below 4%. And for someone who's been following that metric for a long time, 4%, below 4%, your life as an owner is much different. Everything's a lot more stable, and you're not scrambling around trying to cover cleaning. So I'm looking forward to getting everybody vaccinated and getting back to focusing on stability. So
I love that. I think that is a KPI that a lot of people don't look at too. So that's, I like that you illustrated something that we experience a lot in Foundations is, and a lot of people have said it here today, I thought I knew it all. Yeah. And then there comes somebody and they're like, what? You do what? You what? And it's just this whole new shift, and being able to get a deep dive into why that's important, what this person's doing, etc. I love that. So.
Well, I should also say that I've been having a lot of fun focusing on bottom line and profitability rather than necessarily top line and just growth. I had been in growth mode for a long time, including when I went through Foundations and after. And my business did more than double in size after Foundations. I think I was around just under $1 million when I went into Foundations, and I topped out at a annualized run rate of around 2.5 million. So, we grew a lot after, but then, I've been having a lot of fun focusing on the bottom line, and there was a lot of value to extract there. And the other thing that's always been important to me, for those of you that don't know me as well, is quality of life. And I really look at my ability to not be at the business and to not have to work 12-hour days and things like that. So I've made vast improvements in that as well. So that's also been really great.
You're always really good at maintaining your focus and deciding what you're going to go after and protecting that. Sarah does the same thing. She's really good at protecting that time, puts a lot of focus there. What are you working on for 2021, Sarah?
Well, we ended up growing through 2020, so it was a little bit different. I think our location really helped. Arizona was a really good place to be. So we ended up growing 20% in 2020. And this year we're just like on fire. We're up 20% just from February to March. So we're trying to just add to our teams and train and figure out how to maintain our quality as we're in this massive growth mode. And then I also am really big on the work-life balance because I have young kids I prefer to spend time with instead of in my business. I'd rather pay people to work on my business than pay people to watch my kids. So it's been going pretty good. I feel a lot less stressed than in previous years where I couldn't find the balance, and we seem to be just growing naturally. And so this year we'll cross the $1 million mark, which I've been chasing after for a long time. And I'm hopefully opening a second location. I'm working on the details of that. So that's what I've got going on.
Super.
And I'm glad that you're finally growing again, Sarah, because you had that 1 month.
I was plateaued for 2 months and I was like in tears because I thought it was just so horrible that we were plateaued. And then then the next month we're up 16,000 the next month. So I think we're okay.
Awesome. We have a question. Pam Clyde has a question that I'm sure that somebody here can help her with. She wants to know how you run things when you're gone for the week for Foundations. She's got 7 cleaners and 1 professional organizer, doesn't really have an office manager, and just wants to know how you guys keep the business running when you're at Foundations for a week.
And that's not
I think I was about that size when I went. I remember emailing you guys and saying, "Hey, where's that upfront coaching on how to leave your business for this 4-day trip?" And you guys emailed me back, "What are you talking about?"
It's an 8-day trip.
Even worse, right?
Yeah.
And man, I just put somebody in charge and left, and it was fine.
I think I ran it for myself on, to be honest with you. I didn't have anybody in the office. And we just did what we need to do during breaks or call people back or whatever.
Yeah, I will say, I mean, by the time I went to Foundations, I had, a bunch of people in my office. So that wasn't a concern. But back when I was still small enough that I only had 1 person in my office with me, I used to take them to conventions and stuff with me all the time. So there was nobody there with the phones. And my sister, who also was in the same Foundations class as me, has not had an office person in a really long time. She handles everything, and she goes to before my daughter was diagnosed, we were going to Russia and Taiwan and all over the place. And she just sometimes you have to balance whether what you're getting is worth what you might lose, which is really not a lot. We would change the voicemail saying, we're out of the office at the moment, calls will be returned. Put on an email responder, and then just first thing in the morning on your lunch break at the end of the day, go through, return what has to be returned. You're really going to be surprised if you're gone for a week. You're cleaning at most half of your clients at most once. So even if you somehow miss a whole bunch of them, they're probably not going to fire you for it. So the trade-off is worth it. You do what you got to do.
The other thing that go ahead, Liz.
I'm sorry. I was just saying it's a good perspective because when you're in it, you're like, yeah, but I can't. Yeah. On the other side of it is like, I don't understand what the big deal was. It's not like such a huge deal, but afterwards it's like.
I think afterwards too, I was able to leave for now. I don't have that stress anymore. Right? Is that 1 week did it?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Cece.
I think what we did is we did a test. We haven't gone to Foundations yet for the week, but we've done a test where we went to the QDS conference for 2 days and saw how our team did. And we took a vacation, a 2-day vacation during the middle of the week instead of on weekends, and put people in charge and kind of saw how things went. And then we also didn't put any complicated cleanings on those days that could potentially be fires to put out. Just try to make them all recurring, easygoing cleaning.
I want to second what Derek's saying. That's what I would do. And that's what I used to do. When I used to go to the ARCSI conferences, back when I had, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people, and I didn't really have anyone helping me in the office. I did just what Derek did. That's a great advice. Do test runs before you go, and start with 1 day, then try 2 days, then try 3 days. And you know what? Actually, you might even enjoy yourself. You might even get some time off. That would be.
Oh, surprise. Yeah.
Yeah, we were able to take our first week-long vacation about a month ago. We actually went out to Colorado. I went through your business, Laura. I don't know if you knew it or not, but I met up with Aja and Katie and did a quick tour. But we went on a ski trip, and 4 of the days I was like, we're not available. We're on the ski slopes. You're not going to be able to reach us, so figure it out. So.
And I think people want to step up though too. I think that if you have people that, you know, they want to show you that they can do a good job when you're not around, and giving them that power to be able to do that, the freedom.
It's a great way to test your staff, you know, in general. It's that you're one mindset that I used to always have is that if I'm not doing it, it's not going to be done correctly. And that truthfully is just so wrong. And I was so obsessed with like me being the one to do it all that I slowed myself down. I slowed my growth down massively. And when I started to kind of start giving off those, you know, those duties and those tasks and stuff like that, I was actually really amazed with my staff are sometimes better than me at a lot of different areas, because they're not juggling 1,000 things like I was trying to do all the time. So in order for you to get past that point to where you can take those vacations and can take that time, you need to pause and be okay with like mediocre week. You might lose some clients, you might have something weird happen, whatever. But once you go to this foundations class, you're gonna have all the knowledge and information to actually get you off that hump to where that's not gonna be your main focus. Like you can leave for a month at a time, 2 months at a time if you want to. But I don't know, I think that if you're scared to leave your business for 1 week, what happens, let's say something happens to your kiddo or something like that, what are you gonna do? You know, and so while you're small, take that advantage of that and just simply just do it. You know, don't think about it, just do it, jump into it, and then reap all the rewards after you've learned all this knowledge.
Yeah, I just want to, I can't tell who's talking. I just wanted to piggyback on what Trisha said though and say, like, I never in a million years would have thought that what happened to my family would have happened to my family. Like, no one ever thinks that that's going to happen. And I thank God for All Star every day, because if it hadn't been in the position where it was, where I could just leave to take care of my kid, we would have lost everything. And so many people do, you know, your husband has a heart attack, your kid gets sick, you know, have something major spring up and people lose everything. And so I think that laying that foundation to be able to be gone while nothing is going on is the difference between, I mean, I haven't been to work in 16 months now and I'm still getting paid. And like, I'm so thankful for that. I could have lost everything. So I think that's the most important thing that business owners need to realize is whether it feels like you can leave or not, you need to start leaving. You need to figure that out.
Make that happen. I don't know, Cece, can you hear us yet? Maybe not. Looks like she may be.
I can hear you, but I'm driving, so it's.
That's okay. We just wanted to say hi for everybody that's at Foundations. How much did you do for us, right?
Yeah.
Cece was like our house mom.
You know,
Right, like dorm mom, exactly.
for those of you who don't know, Cece was a very important part of our team, like figuring out what Foundations was going to be and helping us put the program together and the logistics of you know, doing this program over the years. We probably wouldn't be sitting here having this discussion or talking about Foundations if it wasn't for Cece. And I was messaging her, you know, when we started, and she's stuck on 95 somewhere, I guess, between DC and Fredericksburg. I'm glad you were able to join us here.
She did all the grocery shopping too, didn't she? I thought that was brilliant.
Yeah, every day, right? And you guys always would give her a new list every day. Yep.
Like spoiled kids.
That's part of the fun of it too, I think.
It was.
Right.
I love it.
So we did have a couple things. Amy, stick in chat your contact information.
Oh,
If
okay.
anybody is looking for like blogs or if you want to talk about training, Amy might be somebody to talk to about that. We're quickly running out of time. Tom, can you also please put the link for people who want to find out more about Foundations and they want to read about it? You could send them over to that page. And then I really quickly, Sarah had a problem that she would love for us to address. Right now, so, is she gone? She's not gone. She's here.
I'm here, I'm just hiding.
Yeah, she's hiding. She's shy. So before we get to Sarah's question is, I want you guys to also vote for the winner of the Bling contest. And there's not a whole lot of people in here. There's Laura, there's Heather, there's Linda, I guess Derek, with his fake green over there. One of those three people, just type in the chat, Bling.
Celebrating properly.
Wait, like Tom does. And the prize is going to be, there are 3 presentations that you will receive. And who else will be receiving? Okay, so let's hit Sarah's question real quick. Go ahead, Sarah. Hit us real quick. And
Okay, I'll come back. Okay, well, I was just throwing stuff out there because you guys were asking for information. So I was wondering if any of you guys, especially the bigger businesses, have any advice on how to grow and scale with your training and hiring when you grow really fast. Like, we weren't expecting such fast growth. We have about 100 more jobs this month than last month, which is a lot for us. And I don't want to turn people away, but I don't want to start losing our quality either because we can't hire and train fast enough. So I don't know if there's a secret sauce, but if you got it, let me know.
I would love to touch on this if I can.
do it. Please, Trisha.
So I am so excited that we hired an HR manager, so a human resources manager, the very end of 2020, I think now, and he's amazing. He has a master's in business and a certification in SHRM, like the whole thing. But having somebody dedicated to employees only was such a game changer for our company. Like, his job is to nurture them. His job is to like take care of every problem, every red flag, like hiring, firing, like onboarding, like all of it. Working with benefits, like 401ks, like all of our stuff. That was such an awesome part for us to be able to do. And so I understand, Sarah, your company might not be to the point where you could have an HR manager, but you could certainly still have someone like that that's in charge of those things. You know, and like their whole goal is to make you grow. And we know that how we make services grow, right? We grow by advertising and we grow by increasing our employee numbers. Well, if increasing your employee numbers are super important because you have all these leads coming in, having somebody that's dedicated to hire is going to be really what takes you to the next level.
That's great advice, Trisha. Thank you. Anybody else have something? How about training? Because that's always a big thing for Sarah. Yeah, go ahead, Gia.
I would just like to second what Trisha said. I couldn't agree more. I actually groomed my own HR person from within, which I think is pretty difficult to do. So I might hire from the outside, but like an HR person is like changed my life. And really, it's not an uncommon combo either to have someone who's HR and admin. So like they sort of like can do accounts receivable, accounts payable, that sort of stuff, do the payroll and do HR. That is a combination that is, you can just hire from the labor market for that. And there are a lot of great people out there who can help with that. And it's the onboarding and all of that stuff. And in our business, we're in the business of selling labor. So that is a really critical position. And if I had it to do over again, I would have hired an HR admin person when I was your size, Sarah, for sure.
Yeah, me too.
That would allow us to have grown a lot faster. So and I think they can also help with training too. But you know, in terms of training, it probably would have been something I would have focused on with a good operations manager or a field supervisor. That might have been something I would have focused on with them.
Sarah, whoever you have for your trainer, is it possible for them to be promoted up to that HR position and be an exclusive trainer?
Possibly. I'll have to think on this because I do have 2 managers in my office, and one's more sales, one's more like scheduling all things operation, but I might be able to shape her into more of an HR position.
But you're wanting the actual training so that the cleaning that's actually being done is good, right? Rather than the other stuff. Okay. I might be able to help you out with that. call my number and let's chat.
Okay, awesome.
Okay.
We have time.
Lori, yeah, go ahead, please.
So we did a couple of things. We had sort of the same problem. A lot of people remember Ocean's 13. We fired 13 people one day. We had to restaff on a lot of people at once. So that was when we really started figuring out doing bulk hiring and training. So the things that we do that I think work the best for us is we have a field manager who is very similar to our HR person. She's the point person for all of the field staff, and she's the person who is in charge of our quality assurance person. So the field manager holds regular trainer meetings, so gets them all in the same place and reviews things with them. We also have a trainer only channel in Slack that we talk a lot, and we kind of seek those conversations so that everybody is on the same page with things. And then our QA person goes out, and as soon as we graduate out of training, she'll go out and start checking them. And the field manager is the one who's doing the onboarding, so she does all of the orientation and everything. And so she tells everybody right up front. All the trainers will tell them too, you're gonna get to know Brandy really well when you first get out of training. She's not coming to see what you're doing wrong. She's coming to help and make sure that you're comfortable with everything. So I think it's a combination of getting, because we have, I think, 4 or 5 trainers. And so getting them all on the same page through those regular meetings, regular, communication that they're all involved in, they all see, and then having my field manager's assistant go do the checks on the people who've graduated. And she's a flex position. So sometimes she's full-time doing quality checks. Sometimes she's full-time cleaning. It just depends on how many people we have coming out of training. So
Awesome, thanks.
And we do the exact same as Laura, where we have the trainers, individual chats, and we have all that stuff. So we do quarterly meetings. So from it's like a 6-hour meeting actually. So like every quarter we have a train the trainers class. And in order for them to continue to be a trainer in our company, they have to attend every single one of those. So every 3 months, what we tend to find is that when we're renewing and re-upping that certificate with us, they're re-engaging themselves into our company. But what we notice is if we don't do it every 3 months, they fall off the bandwagon, and it really re-engages them when we continue to do it every 3 months. And then in Foundations actually gives us a train the trainers program, right, Liz?
Yep.
I think that's where I got mine. And so what we did is we took that manual and then we kind of reinvented it a little bit to make it work with our company and things that were really important for us. But it sets all the ground things. And we have 5 trainers and they're phenomenal. So once our training program really got awesome, and then having someone in charge of our HR, we can hire 10 people in a week and be fine.
Wow, that's amazing.
Well, we are a little past the top of the hour. This was a lot of fun and really awesome. Appreciate everybody's help here today. Liz, do we have a winner for our contest?
We do. It looks like it's Heather. Woo! Playing the vote. So thanks everybody for coming. It was really good to see everybody, hear what everybody's doing. I'm super excited to hear that everybody's doing well. Amy, thanks for sharing your information about how people can contact you. Sarah, if you didn't have a chance yet to look at the chat, please check out Joe's information.
Oh, okay.
Right there, because it's very similar to what Trisha said as well, that if you could, instead of hiring from within, hire from without and get somebody that is a professional in their own right. A lot of people would do that if they had it to do over again.
Yeah.
All right.
And the other thing too with that is that when you're hiring within, they already know your staff and are already friends with your staff. And so to have somebody that's not on that friend zone with them is really important as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Well, take care. Liz, we're going to be back here tomorrow doing something fun, right?
Tomorrow I'm doing a presentation, Tom. So
Oh, that's right. It's not going to be fun. Liz is doing a presentation. It will be fun.
But we'll be talking about training tomorrow. So
okay.
We'll be happy.
Go Brad. Happy St. Patty's Day, everybody.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.
Yeah.